Hey everyone, welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the NAIA Volley Report. I'm your host, Daniel Mesquita. Today we're joined by head coach Breno Ertty of the St. Thomas Bobcats. He is the head coach for the men's program, who's going on their second year. He's also the assistant coach on the women's side. Coach, how are things over there in Miami?
Well, first of all, Danny, thank you for having me here. Thank you for hosting this, and thank you for everything you've been doing for the NAIA volleyball. Really, incredible job on the women's side over there. Got to see a lot of it in action in nationals, and Miami's awesome. Today's
Yeah,
a beautiful day.
yeah,
Probably the coldest week we've had in a while, but we're talking about 60s and 70s.
yeah. I was
So
gonna
it's
say I'm
still
over
beach
here.
volleyball weather out there.
Yeah, I'm here in South Dakota and it's the 30s, so
Oh
I'll
my
take those
God.
70s. I'll take those 70s any day. But anyways, before we talk about your amazing men's program, let's talk about the women's a little bit. You guys had another dominant year. You guys went 27 and 7, 14 and 1 in the Sun Conference. You guys also won your fourth consecutive conference tournament championship, and that's just pure excellence down there in Miami Gardens, Coach. But what are your overall thoughts on the year, and what are you most proud of being their assistant?
Well, first of all, it was once again an incredible season. So we're so proud of that. Coach Whitney and I, we've done once again a good season down here. But this was a different one than I want to say the past three because it was the first time we've had more newcomers, including transfers and freshmen, than what we had of returners. So for the first time in 3 years, we looked at each other and said, "Wow, okay, this is a newer team."
Hmm.
So obviously in the beginning we were like, okay, is this going to work again? Like is what we have been doing, the culture we built is going to work again, or is it going to be a lot different and we'll see a new face, of St. Thomas volleyball now. But obviously for our good surprise and for how much we worked, it was awesome. I mean, it was another good season. We finished 27 and 5, if I'm not mistaken, 27 and 5.
Hmm.
Um, Again, the players that joined, transfers and freshmen that joined the core that we had, bought in, and that's all we asked for, really, to to join. And we reached every single goal that we put it on the paper, which was win our fourth consecutive tournament of the Sun Conference, which was make it to nationals once again. And once again, we lost to the number one seed, man. It's been our thing the past three seasons, including men's.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was
that's
gonna
the newest. That's the hopefully we put that as a new goal for the next year. Beat the number one team or beat the number one team, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I saw you guys down in Sioux City. I mean, you mentioned about a new team. I couldn't tell. You guys look like you guys are glued at the hip. You guys are playing well, and I mean, despite all those transfers, you guys still pulled it together and had a great year. But now we switch gears into that men's season. Last year was y'all's inaugural year playing. You guys were in the Appalachian Conference. You guys went 25 and 2. You guys won conference. You guys made it all the way to the semifinals. Looking back, what were the key factors that made you guys so successful and only being in your first year competing?
Okay, obviously, I mean, I want to say that I was very fortunate with the recruiting group I brought in.
Hmm.
That's obviously the number one key here because when you don't have a program and you don't, I just didn't have anything to sell for them.
Yeah.
Like every call with my recruits last season was, trust me because I've done it on the women's side.
Hmm.
So like, we don't have a locker room yet. We don't have I don't have your teammates here yet. I don't have but I have the culture that we built, the background that we have, the resume that I bring, and you got to trust, and a lot of the guys trusted it, so it was nice. Obviously, a key factor having Kalen, Negrão, Mateus, who became All-Americans are obvious key factors. I mean, you can't just put that aside. We had a full team along with these three guys that were really good. I mean, but you uh, the guys I recruited really the key factor was the guys I recruited because I was looking for guys that wanted to prove something. So the key factor of my recruiting there to have this winning team was just I needed guys that were obviously really, really high IQ, good at volleyball, but guys that have probably been in a program where they felt like that it wasn't for them. So like a lot of my transfers, they came in with a bigger purpose of like I'm gonna prove my older coach wrong, or I'm gonna prove that I am more important than that this program had me at.
Mhm.
And then just pretty good freshmen that wanted to get a name. So when you recruit this kind of caliber players with the players that just really want to win and winners, put it all together with, freshmen that I want to build, with players that want to prove something, and winners already. Like you got to have some people in your program that have won things
Yeah.
so they know the path, and it worked perfectly. I mean, it's just you guys seen the season we've had last year, and I returned pretty much everybody but my setter and one libero, and nobody left. So it's gonna be once again a good season for us, I'm sure, because now I have a coach set. So it
Yeah.
should be nice, should be cool. It was
Yeah.
obviously these key factors are it for the
No,
season
yeah.
we have.
Well, Coach, you had an elite season like we just talked about, but I mean, you guys fell short. I mean, in the semis to the eventual national champions, the Masters, they had, I mean, an historic year, not losing a match.
Stellar season for them, huh?
Yeah, I think they lost 13 sets on the year, which is just crazy. But Coach, what do you take away from that semifinal match that you look to bring to this new season?
So yeah, obviously, by the way, that semifinal match, Masters was the better team. I tell that to everybody. It's just they were so good. I hadn't seen a team that could put up with us like that the entire year. Even the game that we lost to Park,
Yep.
that game was still really good, back and forth game. Either team could have won. I just don't think that I don't think we played bad against Masters.
Hmm.
So, but they were just so dominant that specific day or in season, really. You got to give props to Coach Goldberg there to what he did, an amazing job with Masters there because I mean I hadn't seen a team that could have that was able to dominate us like they did. And obviously, I mean I think I had two takeaways from that game, especially. One of them is to schedule tougher.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't. It's just because, being the first year program last year, it was really hard to schedule games.
Yeah.
People didn't know if they wanted to play us or not. They didn't know what level we were. So it was really tough to schedule games. That's therefore I don't think I had the most, you know, strong schedule that I could have in order to be prepared for Masters.
For sure.
So fix that. This year we're gonna have a really, really strong schedule with, the first 8 games I believe are either ranked games or Division One teams. So awesome there. And the other thing that I was really impressed on that game is that it was blocking, really. Um, it was almost like Masters was 2 steps ahead on us on everything because their block was so disciplined, and that really put a perspective in my coaching and I talk to my guys all the time already this fall. I'm like, you guys got to remember how we got blocked that game. We hadn't seen any disciplined team like that in a while, and it's just so we are now working on a lot more blocking things, or we will be working on a lot more things like that, because when teams are too equal, like when they're equal in strength,
Hmm.
like a semifinal of NAIA, I think the way they blocked us absolutely killed the way we play. So if we could match blocking, serving, obviously, and the offense that we have, I think those are takeaways to be a little bit more dominant on a game like this where teams are so equal. So that was I guess, main takeaways there that we'll be working on for next year.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are going to keep building on. I mean, building on from a great season, you can only go up, Coach. But I know we talked before. You're one of the younger coaches in the NAI or men's volleyball, prospectively. But how does being so young help you relate to your players? Build your culture going into year two and run your program.
So yeah, I'm only 31. So it feels like I do have guys in my team who are like 25. I
Yeah.
believe the oldest one I have right now is 25. So it's like there's 6 years difference there. And so it almost feels like I was just there. I was just on their shoes. So I went to St. Thomas University. I did play soccer there. There
Okay.
was no men's volleyball since I created it last year. So I feel it feels to me that I was just there living the college life. I know what they're going through in the process. I know St. Thomas really well for being there for 4 years, so I know what they're experiencing. So it's really nice to relate in that sense to them. I want them to have the best experience too. So being so young and remembering what it felt like to be at St. Thomas, the life of Miami, obviously Miami for a lot of the area. It just makes it easy for me to relate to the guys and again all I really want them to when they come here to play for me and it really is obviously you're gonna work hard I like to win. I like to go after everything that we can win. I'm gonna go after.
Yeah.
But I also like the for them to have the experience. I mean, I'm not a crazy guy when it comes to like rules and things like that, but I like them if they have the experience and they're happy, that's all I care.
Yeah.
So being young and knowing what that experience feels like, I think they connect with me really well in that sense too. So that's a plus of being a young coach at this program right now.
For sure. And also, it's more than volleyball. So they're going to play
Yeah.
volleyball, have fun, but at the end of the day, the ball does stop rolling. So they got to be ready and
Yeah,
have those
yeah.
memories.
It's only really 3 months of a season, and then you got the off season. But then, a lot of the guys are. I know this too. A lot of the guys, either come here because of me, or they come here because of Miami, or they just want to leave the cold because
Yeah.
here it's sunny all the time. I know, I get it, and it's a plus that we have here, obviously, being in South Florida.
Yeah, no doubt. But coach,
Mhm.
I mean, you coach on the women's side and then you obviously run the men's side. That's
Yep.
that's a lot of time management, a lot of balancing both
Yeah.
roles, and then also having time for yourself because I mean, obviously some people live breed volleyball, but like you also got to have time for yourself as well. But, what are some things that you do managing those roles? What experiences do you take away from both sides of the ball that help you be a better coach?
So again, I'm no stranger to being busy,
Yeah.
because yes, you mentioned women's volleyball at St. Thomas, men's volleyball at St. Thomas, but I also run a club.
Okay.
So I do have my own club, Tropics Volleyball. I coach at the club. I'm the head coach with the 18s level there on the boys side. So like being busy is, it almost I got used to it.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's every year that it goes through, then if one of the program gets bigger and bigger, and so I have managing that for me is just like what everybody asks, like how do you do this? And I'm like, honestly, it's just I'm young. I can do that right now. I will do it. I don't have kids yet. And so what I have been switching a little bit is I don't do as much clinics. Or things for the club like this. I more so coach and pretty much that's it. Just so I can have times like now a little bit more free where I can, have time for myself and all that. But other than that, I'm still, pretty busy. The when the women's season's going, men's seasons, it's kind of I call it off season. It's 3 times a week, the most that we practiced. I get guys all up in my ear like, Coach, we don't practice enough. I'm like, no, it's off season.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of a break too.
Yeah.
The only time I give them an extra focus is if we have a fall scrimmage or anything like that. Then if we conflict, then I'll take the men's side. Coach Whitney will be with the girls. She'll go play whoever on the conference, and I'll stay with the guys. But other than that, it's women's season is women's season. Men's season is men's season. They take over each other. And other than that is in the main experience, like I think you asked that too, right? The what do you take away from each side? I think it's a very different game,
Yeah.
both men's and women's. It's almost like a completely different sport.
Yeah.
I feel like then that's a personal opinion here that the women's game is very mental, defensive, and emotional game.
Yep.
And on the guys, I call it physical, offensive, mental game as well. Both are mental games, but that's where I see it at. So it's really how you treat the players for me. The way I have to treat the women's players a certain way, and the men's players a different way, so they respond. And then if you learn both, you can use one for the other. I don't think every player needs to be catered a different way. And that's one thing I feel like I do really well is that, okay, this guy I need to be a little more on his face and tell it how it is. And, no, this guy, no, this player here, the way he is personally, it needs to be a little more chill, a little more calm. And that's you learn that a lot by coaching both sides
Yep.
because of the difference in the game. So you learn how to be a little bit, you know, cater for the emotional side a little bit better here, and then you can take it over there.
Yeah.
You you learn how to be a little more tough over here, and you cater a little bit over there. So that's the biggest thing for me, and it helps a lot. It helps a lot on both sides, really.
I think that does learning how to coach different people because people come from
Yep.
all over and are brought up different ways. But coach, we talked a little about your inaugural year. We talked about last season. We talked about the women's. Let's talk about you and you as a coach. I mean, you developed multiple All-Americans, record-breaking players in both programs on the men's and women's side. What's your philosophy to making sure that these athletes reach their full potential, not only on the court, but off the court as well?
So yeah, I mean that question comes with like first you got to recruit well.
Yeah.
You got to have the player that you can see it in your eyes saying, okay, this is a potential All-American player I have here. For them to get to their full potential, that's when it comes the recruiting part around that player. So again, last year, let's put it for example in the men's, I had three All-American players that I knew it. I knew it before the season started. I said, "Wow!" During the fall, I'm watching them play. I'm like, "Okay, these are potential best players in the country right here that I have," which is first of all awesome. Second
Yeah.
of all, how can I make them reach that full potential? Is just the way we made the team. I pretty much built the team around them, and that's how you have to do it this way. Um, otherwise things don't progress. If a player is needs a player like Kalen, for example, you need a setter that's going to always give him a high fastball. If a setter doesn't do that, who am I going to change faster? The
Mhm.
setter or a player that I know for sure that it's an All-American potential. So you gotta find ways to make that potential come out, and then that comes from the recruiting that you do around these guys, and always, trying to find the best solution within the six that are on the court for that potential to really come out. The second thing is, and the court part is just keeping them happy. I mean, I talked about the experience of St. Thomas, like what it means for me to be here. So it's like if I know what each player wants out of this experience, which is what I on the call I meant I always ask like, hey, what type of player are you on and off the court? So off the court, are you more chill? Are you a party guy? Are you I want to go to the beach guy kind of guy? Or no, I stay in my room. I rather stay in my room and it's just so if and I know that about every single one of my players. And you just got to make sure that they are happy within the environment and once they're happy, they're gonna be able to reach a potential that probably no other coach has made it because a lot of coaches are like, you have to do it my way. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't recruit to do it my way. I recruit knowing what the kid is gonna bring.
Yep.
So, and then once they're happy, I mean, then they can get to the point where you see them, and that's how I coach, and that's how I see it. Um, And I say that now, but you can ask all my guys. I mean, I treat all of them a little bit different to what they need, and my goal, honestly, is to just have them, the 26 of my guys happy, which is hard, but the 26 of my guys happy, and we'll get the results that we're looking for.
Well, keep doing that, coach. You're doing a phenomenal job, and it seems to be working
Thank you.
for you. So, coach, I mean, a little background. I mean, you said that you're going into your 10th season. Your combined record, you're at 194-57. You got multiple conference champions, All Americans, you name it. You've been a national contender on both sides, men's and women. But let's talk about your offense a little bit. I mean, where last season you led the NAIA in multiple categories on the men's side, women's side, all of the above. Your offensive style is pretty unique. How have you developed it and fine-tuned it to where it is now?
So, over the years, I've had, man, I've coached so many teams because every year, like I said, I'm so busy that every year I have about 3 to 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Uh, whether when it comes to college, club, and even before college, I had high school. So with that many players, that many options of offense, I've actually created my a couple plays myself. So it's things that I look really, it's just me drawing on I spent days drawing rotations and things like that to where I created plays that I hadn't that come out of my head. Like I've never seen professional teams do it. I've never seen high level, when I say high level college, I'm talking about the Long Beach and UCLA's, and
Yep.
I've never seen them do it. I've never, it's things that come out of my head really. And that I've perfected over the years, with the many trial and errors that I've had with all the teams, is gotten to the point where, like, my guys, even the most experienced guys that came in from the Division 1 teams, when I say like, okay, we're gonna run this play right here, and I'm telling you it's going to work, they look at me like I'm crazy until we do it, and then they look back, they're like, Coach, this is the most impressive thing I've seen. And I'm like, yeah, it's different. You're not gonna find this anywhere because it's coming out of my head.
Yeah.
But and obviously, I'm not going to spill it here because if any other coach starts picking up, they can use that against me, and I'm not gonna know because it's that hard.
Yeah.
I've confused refs. I've had plenty of refs, and it happened right now in the SoCal Cup when I took one of my teams.
Mm.
We ran the offensive plays that we run, and the refs are calling us out of rotation, and I'm looking at them going, "Really?" They're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like they're not.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of plays like that where I can get my main guys free, which turn into offensive nightmares for other teams. We use it on the girls' side, we use it on the men's side. I use it in club. It works really, really well. My guys love it. Now that they learn, we went through the whole fall teaching the new guys. They love it. It's a style that is very creative too. I mean, if my outside, I always joke, if my outside comes up to me and says, "Hey, Coach, I know I can hit the slide from position 5," I'm gonna be like, "Okay, let's see, make it work." If he
Hmm.
makes it work, gets consistent, we're gonna use it. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna see me using it, and oh, but that's not on the men's game. I don't care. It's
Hmm.
gonna give me a point. It's
Yeah.
gonna give me the offensive team of the year. We're doing it. So
Take it.
I let the creativity flow for the guys too. I mean, if they come up with something cool and that's gonna work, I'm in it. I mean, I'm all for the fun. I'm all for the creativity. So we've been very good in offense in the past couple of years, whether that's on the women's side and on the men's side too.
Well, it's great to hear, and I love to see it. And I can't wait to see it again. I mean, first serves in what, 20 days, I believe, right under
Yeah, around that,
around that.
January 23rd, I believe it's my first. Yep.
Yeah, and then you talked about you having your club down there in South Florida, coach. But volleyball continues to grow. I know a couple years back the NAIA was invitation only, and now it's um,
Full
selection
on.
show. Yeah, full on selection show, all that good stuff, coach. But from your perspective, being there in South Florida, what's driving that growth? And when recruiting in South Florida, how do you recruit in such a competitive landscape?
So yeah, okay. The growth of men's, I think it comes from obviously, um, it's a nationwide thing right now. It's not just South Florida. I mean, I'm going to talk about South Florida specifically here.
Yep.
It took me 3 years to open men's at St. Thomas. There's always a little bit of a I don't want to say uncertainty because I was probably the only one saying, "Don't worry, it's for sure going to work." But there's all these things with Title IX
Yep.
and things that really hold schools from making that choice to make men's volleyball. But I think that's once they saw that club was booming, and obviously when I opened my club, and it took I think less than a year for me to have already 6, 7 teams on the club for the boys side. I think they took over the idea and they used that too as a part of, okay, look, maybe we should give it a chance. I think St. Thomas is helping. I think my club is helping. I think other clubs in the area are helping tremendously. The growth of men's volleyball here in South Florida. Um, right after we opened, I helped a little bit Barry open. I've been on other schools' ears every time we go in the women's game. Let's say like Ave Maria. I'm like, hey, why don't you guys open men's volleyball? It's really easy. It's if you have women's, all you have to do is buy new balls. Right? It's something that's already there. It's the cheapest probably sport to open. So here I am asking right now too, like that hopefully more schools join this trend because not only volleyball, boys volleyball right now is the fastest growing sport in America, but that hopefully see this interview and things and points that I talk about that it's really easy to open men's volleyball. And if more teams in Florida open, then we can hopefully get a Sun Conference started. With a Sun Conference started, it's less budget that you have to use for trips.
Hmm.
So obviously, it's here's my ask for other schools to really try to open, men's volleyball because recruiting wise, it's right now it's paradise. I mean, it's me and Barry. You want to come to play in Miami and be around this, sunny South Florida? You have two schools to choose. So right now it's paradise for recruiting. I don't have too many issues finding guys.
Yep.
Like I have a large pool of people that want to come to South Florida. So that makes it grow more opportunities for people to want to come here or, develop here in South Florida to stay at Barry, to stay at St. Thomas. Um, and it's a little different on the women's side too. The women's side is the recruiting is hard on the
Yeah.
women's side. We're here against FIU, FAU, Barry, Lynn, Nova. I mean, there's so many schools that girls can choose. Um, so it makes it a little harder, but still, I mean, uh, I'm just so excited about the growth of men's right now too, because of all these opportunities that can be still the potential is there.
Yeah.
Florida has it all. It just
Yeah.
need more people to join us on making that happen.
I give it a couple years and the Sun Conference will be booming with men's team. But you talk about
I
growth.
hope so. I hope so.
You talk about growth and the upright trajectory. Let's talk about social media. It's that social media has, I mean, you can get anything at the palm of your hand.
Yep.
Talk about you. I mean, you're pretty popular on TikTok. Some might say, some might not say. But how do you leverage Instagram and TikTok to help with recruiting, growing St. Thomas volleyball? Talk a little bit about that.
So I do. I mean, for me, social media is everything.
Yeah.
I am pretty much, I want to say not 24/7, but a good 8 hours. 8 hours daily. I'm scrolling through either whatever social media I can see. I think it's right now number one thing in recruiting. Especially that comes back to being young too, and I know how things are, how these work. I think every coach should be on Instagram, TikTok, really seeing what the kids are going, like the trends and seeing what's happening out there. Um, that keeps me young. I'll tell you that. That keeps me young. I learn all sorts of things about these trends and things like that. But the biggest thing for me is obviously it's the leverage you can get with social media for a program. So we're a 1 year program for the men's, and I can say we're pretty popular.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people in different convention centers for club. Either when I walk around with St. Thomas gear or with my Tropics gear, they know who I am or they know what program I'm with, which is pretty big. I mean, we Tropics has been around for now it's our 5th year. St. Thomas is the second. So, and people knowing that is a pretty powerful tool. And I use that very, very like planned and how do I say it? Like for my benefit, really. I think every time I get a new recruit, first thing I do is let's post you. Let's make sure you're out there. Let's make sure that everybody knows who you are. Let's make sure that people know, okay, look, St. Thomas has gotten this guy. That has helped me in a tremendous way, especially last year not having a team. The first, let's say, let's talk about Kalen again. As soon as Kalen signed with us, I believe it was like May, I made sure I was like, look, let's post it. Let's make sure that it's here. And I explained to them, look, by posting you, it's going to give me a bigger pool of people because some people are gonna might just want to play with you.
Hmm.
And then it was exactly what happened. I posted Kalen, and I kid you not, I think I got 30 emails the next day of people that knew who he was, know he's coming from a Division 1 program, coming to St. Thomas. Wait, what's St. Thomas? Let me go. I got 30 emails of people wanting to come and join the team. I post another guy. Here comes 10 more emails. I post another guy. Here comes another 15. And that's how for me, that's how you build. I mean, and it's an easier way to do things. And now I get to the point where I'm like, I just hired a manager for St. Thomas where we're going to put out a lot of content this year. I have a meeting with him next week. We're gonna plan it out. Okay, this day we're gonna post this day we're gonna post that, this day we're gonna post a mic'd up day, this day we're gonna do a highlight on this player, and we're gonna throw stories and we're gonna post highlights, and we're gonna have a goal. Okay, by this month we're going to have 150 more followers. By this month I need 500 more. We need one viral video a month. And we're gonna go like this, and it's not like, oh wow, they just got lucky with it. No, everything's gonna be planned. Everything's gonna be
Intentional. Yeah.
intentional, potentialized. Like I said, I have a big following on TikTok. Some people
Yeah.
say it's not, but some people say it's big. But I mean, I do have about 45,000 people that follow my volleyball content there, and I post just about everything about my athletes. My goal is like I don't show my face too much. Might change this year because of the planning, but everything is just my athletes. Like I wanna. Sometimes I joke with them. I say, hey, if I post this, maybe we make $30 on the video. You never know. They're like, oh, coach, all right, let's do it. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things are potentializing from TikTok, Instagram. For me, social media really is right now everything. Like
Yeah.
it makes a program be seen a certain way.
For sure, coach. And I'm gonna be here for it because I've seen TikTok, I've seen all of that stuff, and it's great. So I can't wait to see what you guys plan. But let's talk about your goals and plans moving forward. I mean, let's have a few goals for the women's team next season and the men's. I mean, granted, on top of all the success in the season, record breaking, all that good stuff, what are some goals that you have in store for the men's program?
Well, for the men's, I think our goal is always going to be to win the national championship. We got so close last year. And honestly, for as long as I'm at St. Thomas, we're always going to compete for a national championship, or at least be the contender for it. Because I'm not a coach that I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose. I don't like settling for the okay, we're just gonna be okay this season. Like it's just not gonna happen with me. In my head, I just can't get over that. So for as long as I am at St. Thomas, we're going to be contenders for national championships, year in and year out. So obviously the goal is to win a national championship next year. I return a lot of the guys. I was able to bring in some pretty good pieces for this second year, which you guys are going to be seeing a lot about them soon. So it's again the goal is that. There is no other goal other than, uh, get to nationals, and try to win it all. And you asked for the women's as well?
Yep.
For the women's, we're going to have uh, how can I say it? It's not going to be a rebuilding again, but we do lose a couple pieces that have been with us for 4 years, or even this year, that some grads that came in to play 1 year. So it's going to be a little bit different. Where Coach Whitney and I are working on the recruiting piece of that, which has been tough. I'm not going to lie, it's been really hard. The more and more NIL money that shows up, and
Yeah.
the Division Ones now being able to give out 18 full rides if they can, and us at St. Thomas not having that power. Um, we barely have right now. I don't think that we don't. By the way, we don't have a single player on a full ride at St. Thomas. So it's really hard for us to sometimes compete. And obviously, Coach Whitney and I are looking for the best of the best. We're looking for that player that's going to go Division 1, but it chooses us.
Mhm.
And it's been tough. It's been tough, but knowing us, I mean, we're not gonna settle anytime, and it's the goal is always going to be make it back to the national championship, be as highly ranked as possible, so we can make a run for the national championship. And we'll be there. We'll be there next year again, one way or another. So we can try to get that once again. Try to be the number one team this time. How about
Yeah.
that?
Bring home that red
Is
banner,
it
coach.
if we
But
if we are if we are the number one team, then we don't have to beat the number one team, right?
yeah,
Oh man, the past 3 years.
I can only imagine, coach. But hey, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. But before we go, where can we find St. Thomas? Where can we find you on socials? Put your tag in.
All right. Well, first, again, thank you for having me here. It was a again great conversation about volleyball, about men's, women's volleyball, the in the future, hopefully the of men's volleyball where it's going. For you guys to find me, my Instagram is Breno, and then it's actually my middle name, Paulinelli, Paulinelli. Same one for TikTok. For St. Thomas, is STU_M volleyball for men's, and STU_volleyball for the women's. You guys can find us there. Yeah, make sure to tune in for the men's season coming up. So you'll see a lot of new and exciting content coming up.
We'll see it. We love it, coach. For everyone listening and watching, make sure you follow the Volley Report on all socials at NAIA Volley Report, and subscribe to this channel to see more episodes with more coaches. Thanks again, coach. I appreciate it, and we'll look for that first serve. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you and everything that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a good one.